So today my topic is migration, its types, causes and consequences. So this is a chapter from book India, its people and economy. So I would start this chapter now. So the name of the chapter is, as you have already know, the very content of the chapter is migration. So what do you mean by migration? Migration is the movement of people from one place to another, or any movement of by humans from one place to another, often over a long distance. It may be done individually or in large groups. And the people who do migration, they are termed as migrants. So migration enumeration, that means how this migration data is collected, or how census, during a census the migration is take enumerated or conducted. Okay, so first it is based on the place of birth. If the place of birth is different from the place of enumeration, then it is a lifetime migrant. And then we have the place of residence. If the place of last residence is different from the place of enumeration, then it is migrant by place of last residence. So now the Indian diaspora. So when we say Indian diaspora, it means that how the migration took place in the Indian context. So if we study the three waves, it will be very clear about the migration which took place in India. So during the colonial period, several colonizers, they used the laborers to send to the international countries as intended indentured laborers. Okay, for example, most of the laborers were sent by the Britishers to Mauritius, Caribbean islands, Fiji, and South Africa. Okay, by the British from UP and Bihar. Okay, then the French sent the laborers to Reunion Island, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and Suriname. And Dutch also were included. And then Portuguese were sent from Goa, Daman, and Diu to Angola, then Mozambique to work as plantation workers. So here the workers were sent to these international places, by signing some agreement, which is known as a time-bound contract, or it is referred to as the Girmit Act. Okay, according to the Indian Immigration Act. But however, their life condition, the living condition of these laborers were very crucial. They were not given a proper wage. The living condition were very severe. Okay, it was not up to the mark. So that was the first half of our Indian diaspora, the first wave of migration which took place in India. Then the second wave of migration, they went to the neighboring countries, and it's a very recent phenomena. Like professionals, artisans, traders, and factory workers, they were to the places in search of a better opportunity for economic opportunities, like places like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, and African countries. So they were to these places and many others, and this trend still continues. People now also, the professionals, they also now also they go for a better opportunity. The India's skilled and semi-skilled labor, they went to West Asia for in the wake of the oil boom in 1970s. So not only professionals but entrepreneurs, store owners, and businessmen also went to the Western countries. That is the second wave. And the third wave of migrant, it is comprised of the professionals, highly educated, the doctors, the engineers, okay, since 1960s. Then software engineers, management consultants, financial experts, media persons since 1980s. And these people went to the countries like USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Germany. They are very highly educated, and to earn the highest and have a prosperous lifestyle, they went to these places. And after liberalization, in the 1990s, education and knowledge-based Indian emigration took place, which is very powerful among all the diasporas in the world. So it is very important. Okay, and you can see how migration actually influences a particular place, like whether they move from here to the other place, that is emigration, or from other place to India. It does affect the population of a country. So now coming to the next slide,
here we have the different streams of migration. As you can see here, we have two streams of migration. One is internal migration, which takes place within the country, and another one is international migration, which takes place overseas. So internal migration, under that we have several categories of migration, several streams of migration. So these streams are rural to rural, rural to urban, urban to urban, and urban to rural. So these are the streams of migration. Now next, you have the inter and intra-state migration. So when we say interstate and intra-state migration, reasons are different. Intra-states means when people move from one place to another place, okay, one state to another state, and intra-state within the state, okay. So as you can see here, see in this chart, the light shade in both the charts shows for male and dark one for female. So here this particular graph shows us the intra-state migration, that means within the state whichever migration takes place. So as you can see, within the state, male migration is quite less than female migration. Female migration is more within the state. In like all the streams, whether it from rural to rural, rural to urban, urban to rural, or urban to urban. Whereas in the case of interstate, from one state to another state, the participation or especially the movement of the male from rural to urban is more than female, okay. But urban to urban, here also the female is quite slightly higher, and even to rural, but basically from rural to urban, the male movement is high. Definitely the reason is better employment opportunities. Now next we have the spatial variation. So when we say spatial or spatial variation, what does it mean? That means over the space, see, like in some states there is more migration, and in some states the migration is less. For example, here I have referred in points Maharashtra, Delhi, Gujarat and Haryana. They have the largest numbers of net in migrants, whereas Uttar Pradesh and Bihar have largest number of out migrants. And among the UA means urban agglomeration. So among the UA, Greater Mumbai have the highest number of in-migrants, and interstate in-migrants are the largest in Greater Mumbai. Now, if you see this map, it will be clear to you the hotspots of migration. So these are the hotspots of migration. One is Mumbai, another one is Bangalore, then we have Delhi. So these are the hotspots of migration. Other than that, some seasonal migration takes place because of urban construction sites, brick kilns for rural harvesting. These are the regions which is showing here. So you can see here, these are the seasonal migration, and the white shades here, these are less than 10% of houses with migrant who has gone in search of work. So here we find less migrant in Jammu and Kashmir, okay. And then no data is found actually in Jammu and Kashmir. Other than that, these light shades, they have less than 10, yellow color have in between 10 to 20, then the orange have 20 to 25% of houses, and the dark shades have more than 25 houses. So you can see these are the hotspots, okay. And the distribution of houses with migrants who have gone to these places in search of work. So this map will give you a clear idea about the migration which takes place in India, that is interstate migration. Now this map will give you a picture of the internal migration. So you can see here, in search of work, people move from different countries also they went, but within the country also there is migration, okay, and the ratio of such migration is more than 20%. So here are the top 10 districts, okay. One is Daman with 52.1%, then Dadra and Nagar Haveli with 36.1%, Mumbai with 33.2%, 31.1% Mumbai suburban, then Mokokchung with 31.3%, Kohima with 32.4%, Tawang with 39%, 37.2% with Kinnaur, then Chandigarh 31.7% and New Delhi 32.7%. So here you can see that the migrants here, like in search of work, here we have, this is another map which shows you the migrants for work or business, okay, the total number of business, and here all the shades here which is showing you here, these are the top 10, and remaining, as you can see here, the light blue shade, this is for below 5%, then orange is from 5 to 10%, then the pinks one are for 10 to 20%, and these are the top 10 with dark brown. So this is for internal migration map. Then states with highest number of migrants, okay, and maximum migrants, where do we find? We find in, here we have maximum in UP, that is 5.91 crore, okay. Then we have Maharashtra 5.73 crore. Then we have West Bengal 3.33 crore. Then we have Andhra Pradesh 3.32 crore, and then we have Tamil Nadu 3.13 crore. Now international migration, okay, like the migration also like from other places, many people come to India, okay, like for this is a data of 2001. According to this data, see, from Afghanistan we have how many number of migrants here? Total number of from neighboring countries we have 4,918,266 immigrants, okay, in India, which we convert, if we convert in percent, it will be 95.5%, okay. From Afghanistan it is 9,194, Bangladesh 3,84,826, Bhutan 8,337, China 23,721, Myanmar 49,086, Nepal 596,696, Pakistan 997,106, Sri Lanka 149,300. So as you can see, international migration, because of this also the total number of population in India is very, very high, okay. So total number of international migration in India is 5,155,423. Out of that, this is the data for individual international migration from different countries. Now there are different causes of migration. We have already discussed that in our previous chapter. So there are push factors which force the population to move out of a place, and pull factors. These factors attract the population for migration. So these are there are various causes of migration. So male and female migration also takes place, as you can see in this chart. Here in this particular chart you can see that this is reasons for, this is for male migration and this is for female migration. So 38% of male migration takes place because of work or of business, then 6% because of education, then only 2% because of marriage, which takes place in Kerala and Meghalaya, then 10% because of move after birth, then 25% moved with household, and remaining 16% for some other reasons. Whereas for female, 65% because of marriage, okay, 1% because of business, 3% work or employment, 7% move after birth, then 19% moved with household, and remaining 5% for some other reasons. There are many consequences for migration, okay. For example, we have some economic consequence. Consequence means the result. So what can be the result? So if a place, okay, like for example, some remittances from the international migrants are one of the major source of foreign exchange, okay. In the year 2002, India received 100 billion according to US dollar as remittances from international migrants. So there are some positive consequence also, okay, economic consequence because of migration. Punjab, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they receive quite a good number of international migrants, okay, and they get a good amount of remittances by the internal migrants, which are merged as compared to very meager as compared to the international migrants, but it plays a very good, whether whatever the amount is, but we are getting some extra money, so that definitely helps for the economic growth of the country. And especially some other remittances can be food, can be the repayment of debts, or treatment, or marriages, children's education, agricultural inputs, construction of houses, etc. And for thousands of the poor villages of Bihar, like some remittances are given as lifeblood for their economy. So migration from rural areas of eastern Orissa also takes place to the areas like Punjab, Haryana, UP. Especially after the Green Revolution, because of the agricultural development. And other than this, many of the metropolitan cities of India, there are some negative cause also, that metropolitan cities of India has been day by day overcrowding, which results in the development of slums. So that is a negative factor also. So next we have demographic factor. So demographic is the distribution of the population of a country. So rural migration plays a very important factor when it comes to the population growth of the cities. Okay. So some selective migrants, like as per age, as per their skill, they move from rural area to the cities, which really affect the demographic structure. Okay, there is high number of migration from Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, MP, and Eastern Maharashtra. Okay, and this really brings an imbalance in the gender. Okay, like in the age and sex composition is in all these states like Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, MP, and Maharashtra. And the next cause we have social consequences. So like every society is different, their norms and values are different, new ideas are related to new technologies, so family planning, girls education, etc. So these are diffused from urban to rural. Okay, so migration is causes intermixing of people. Okay, like in a particular society, a variety of people with different societies, they live together, so it has a positive contribution to the society. And also sometimes there can be, because obviously the positive is what they can lessen the gap between the different societies, but sometimes the negative consequences are also there, feeling of dejection, or some antisocial activities. So both, for all these factors, there can be positive and negative factors, consequences. Then next we have environmental consequences. Obviously because of population, we always have a negative impact on the environment. So whenever there is overcrowding of people, the present structure, whether it is social or physical, it is affected. Okay, and which leads to the slum areas also. So that really affects the environment. And overexploitation of, if the number of population increases, obviously there will be overexploitation of resources. Okay, and because in cities you can see that maximum of the houses, they are dependent on the boring water. So like this, as more the population, more water will be required, so the underground water will decline. Okay, and there is more of air pollution, there is more of disposal of sewage and management of solid waste, and there are some other factors also. So these are the consequences of migration. So here I come to the end of the chapter. Thank you so much.